What's up, y'all? It's Flying Squirrel. So UFC 315 in Montreal just ended. It was Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Madalena fighting for the welterweight title. Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot for the women's flyweight title. A lot of moving parts depending on the result of these fights tonight. I'm going to get into those two fights. So first, let's start out with Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Madalena. Before the fight started, watching Leon Edwards get double-legged in the pre-fight highlights, it's just refreshing. I'll never get tired of seeing that head bonk on the ground and seeing welterweights. Welterweight used to be the most boring division when Leon Edwards was champ. For 2 years, it was the most boring division. And now we have just a gold mine of title contenders, of good fights, of dangerous guys. And the belt is going to keep moving, keep cranking. But man, like Jack's highlights are it's just something about good MMA boxing KOs, man. That's what made me excited to watch this fight, is I knew if he won, it was going to be exciting. He walked out to TNT by AC/DC. I felt like I was starting up Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. If you're a real one, if you're an unk like me, you had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 on the PS2. Dude, man, imagine if Jack Della Madalena, he just like goes on an Ilia Topuria type run and he just becomes welterweight GOAT. And every time we hear that, it's the same as when we hear Ilia Topuria's. Like, we just know it's about to be some stuff, bro. We know it's about to be some bombs thrown in this octagon. Another thing about Jack Della Madalena's walkout, I don't think that's Ian's son. So anyways, Belal Muhammad, he comes out to this Middle Eastern sounding song and the crowd is booing. And, sometimes you feel bad. You feel bad for Belal Muhammad. You see how much hate he gets. And he's in Montreal. He's the champ. He earned his championship status. And these French people are like, I do not want to hear this Palestinian stuff. Belal is just using that as fuel. And another thing about Belal's walkout is I
don't think that's actually Ian's son.
Dude, what is with Ian Gary? He's trying to get on camera as much as possible. Dude, he was in the cage with Santos versus Lee. I'm like, dude, go away, dude. He got as much camera time as he could possibly get. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the fight. So round one, this was such a good fight. Belal, before this fight, said he was going to show off the Canelo hands. He wasn't going to shoot a takedown, whatever. When he said that, I was like, okay, if he actually does not shoot a takedown, he's going to lose. And that's what happened. Round one, he did surprise me. He did throw a few really good power shots. He had a lot of good counter striking. Every time JDM would switch stances, he would rush in. It looked like he was doing a Robert Whittaker style blitz on a couple of them. But JDM, he had more strikes total. Belal had more power strikes. That's just in round one. I gave round one to Belal. Afterwards, I saw that JDM was winning in strikes. Round two was where I think JDM started getting comfortable. And one thing I did not notice about JDM is he has really good head movement. Okay, that's not a good picture to show when I'm talking about his head movement. But he has really good head movement. Like, we talk about him being an excellent striker. We don't talk about him having excellent striking defense. And I feel like that's what made the difference in this fight. He was able to neutralize Belal's quote-unquote pressure style. You're going to pressure. The whole meaning of pressure is that air cannot escape or liquid cannot escape. But JDM can escape. He had head movement. He had foot movement. He had a boxing defense. He was really good at making Belal miss. And so that kind of neutralized Belal's pressure fighting. Round two, I gave that to JDM. Round three, Jack Della Madalena fully entered flow state. He was showboating. He was feinting. He was showing his head movement. Yeah, I gave that round to Jack. We can see after the third round, Jack was up on strikes in every, okay, wow. Okay, well, never mind. Belal Muhammad, he really made a mistake not wrestling. I think if Belal Muhammad were to, like I said in my last video, if he wants to win, he has to make it boring. But I think when he comes out and he sees this whole stadium booing him and he has this reputation of being a boring fighter, he's like, no, my whole career is at stake. I can't go and smudge Jack Della Madalena. I can't go and smudge him. So the first few rounds, he tries striking with him. And then when he tries to start smudging him in round 4 and round 5, he's too slippery. He's too tired. Luckily, he did get a takedown in round 4 and round 5, but it just wasn't enough. Jack Della Madalena, he was able to get back up. He had really good takedown defense. He stopped like 4 or 5 of the takedown attempts. And like he did in the other fight, like I said in my last video, or a few videos ago, yeah, he can get back up. And when he gets back up, the strikes that he throws in the pocket are dangerous. That was another way that I got really impressed by Belal Muhammad is Belal Muhammad was standing there with Jack Della Madalena in the pocket trading, like vintage Poirier versus Gaethje. But when round 4 came, I think the only way that Belal was going to win was by taking him down. He hit him with this sweet lat drop, but still JDM was able to get back up. And in the final minutes of the fight, it was just like a dogfight. This is what UFC was made for. This is what it was built on, brick by brick. It was moments like this where two guys are covered in blood. They're swinging. They have 30 seconds to win the fight, to win the belt, to realize their dreams, and they just leave it all out there on the mat. I don't know if y'all noticed, usually fighters, they're like hugging and stuff, especially Ian Gary. He's hugging and high-fiving the other guy, bowing down to him, trying to pray with him. These guys, when they were done fighting, JDM, he was like, nah, I'm done. I'm not hugging you. I ain't gay. Like, I feel like JDM he's one of the boys, man. He showed us he's one of the boys.
I don't think that's actually in son.
He's not hugging you after a fight. Why would I hug you? Scorecards came in. Jack Della Madalena is our new welterweight champion. So, what happens now? Since Jack Della Madalena won, look at who he has. Welterweight. Dude, welterweight was so boring. We had all these guys in the division the whole time, but it was so boring when Leon Edwards was there. Now look at what we got at welterweight. We need to have a welterweight fight every month, okay? There should not be any breaks. Look at this gang of killers. How many of these guys, bro? Look at welterweight, bro. Look at this graphic, dude. Look at this graphic. This is beautiful. Like, okay, JDM versus Islam Makhachev. We've seen Islam Makhachev strike with Volkanovski. How good is that fight going to be? Islam probably just going to take it. Islam don't care about ego or nothing. Islam's just going to take him down, choke him out. But then where does this guy go? Where does Belal go after this? Is Belal going to fight Islam once Islam is champ again? Is Shavkat going to fight Islam next? And then Belal is going to have to fight one of these guys? Maybe Belal fights Ian Gary? I don't think that's his son. This isn't my job to make these fights. Another thing, now we got our International Fight Week fight. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, man. It was nice knowing you, Charles. It was nice knowing you, Charles. You are not getting back up. I'm sorry, dude. You are my favorite fighter. Literally my favorite fighter in the UFC. You are not getting back up. After Ilia drops you. If Gaethje dropped you, if Poirier dropped you, okay, if Michael Chandler dropped you, Ilia Topuria is going to do bad things to my GOAT. And that's just the name of the game, bro. International Fight Week, I hope you're ready. I'm wearing black on International Fight Week because my GOAT is about to get slaughtered, bro. We might as well be saying Eid Mubarak because my GOAT is about to get slaughtered, bro. It's about to get slaughtered. Now, let's talk about Fiorot versus Shevchenko. Razor thin fight. Shevchenko really had success with the counterpunching. Maddalena Fiorot was a lot bigger than Valentina Shevchenko. Very important thing that she did. In round 1, Shevchenko was able to break her nose on a counterpunch and drop her in a few key points. Dude, I don't want to talk about this fight. I don't care. This fight was... I got all these screenshots, bro.
We do not care.
I want to talk about how sick it is at welterweight that we have all these contenders. You know what? Screw it. This is my YouTube channel. Let's talk about this, bro. This is so cool. JDM is such a good boxer. When we talk about MMA boxing, I think we all can agree Ilia Topuria has the best boxing in MMA. And Jack Della Madalena is very close. It's very satisfying to watch Jack Della Madalena fight. He scared me a few times here in the Belal fight. Belal landed some heavy punches that I didn't expect. But he did his thing, bro. He is the champion right now. I hope it's not a one-sided fight. I hope when Islam fights Jack Della Madalena that it's going to be kind of like Belal fighting Jack Della Madalena. I think they're pretty much the same size. I don't see Jack having that much of a size advantage on Islam. But Islam has a massive wrestling advantage on Jack Della Madalena. But bro, I would love to see if you were to take anyone from this picture and match them up randomly, because I don't think anyone from this picture has really fought each other except for Shavkat and Ian, and now Belal and JDM. Aside from that, no one in this picture has fought each other, and I would love any one of these matches. Very excited for Kamaru Usman versus Buckley in Atlanta in a couple weeks. I don't think I made an official video on that. Maybe I need to do that. But yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, guys, I could talk about Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. Round 1, I gave to Valentina. Round 2 and 3, gave it to Manon Fiorot. Round 4 and 5, gave it to Valentina. Congratulations. Okay. Dude, let's talk about some other stuff. I know, if you're a Valentina fan and you came to this video just to hear me talk about Valentina, I'm sorry, bro. Unironically, this was Belal Muhammad's best fight that he's ever had in the UFC. Most entertaining fight that he's ever had. Sadly, he lost it. It is going to be a long road back for Belal Muhammad. I don't know if he'll ever get the belt back. With how stacked that weight class is, I really don't think he gets it back or gets a shot anytime soon unless he absolutely starches somebody. But let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet subscribe because we got to get to at least 10,000. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.